Have got it back and they'll have another go. Pedri! Pre-game expectations, passions. He's having a hit!
It has to be with a mean cutting edge.
And the finish! Good try. The outcome could so easily have been different. Williams. Pedri! They've done it! First blood drawn. Welcome one and all, the atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. And nobody in this atmosphere can hide from the truth about how much this game matters. The scene overflows with colour and passion. This is always a game of consequence.
Well, I for one don't think that just because there's nothing resting on it, Peter, a game can lose its edge, and certainly not when you're facing opponents like this. So I hope the players will approach this with real professionalism.
Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. It is that familiar feeling again, old foes, fresh hostilities. Mbappe. And they're not going to make any further progress now. And he's forced to go back. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Well, the versatility of Nico Williams has been hugely impressive. I think, Peter, he's just as good on either side of the pitch, and he has a footballing brain that seems to allow him to work things out with ease. And I think it's been suggested at times that he could play further up the pitch, but I think as a fullback, having the space to run into, I think to take away that from his game would be criminal.
Okay, interesting. Pedro Porro.
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers: don't concede the opener.
Tries to get it clear. Pedri. That's a pretty loose pass. Picked up, hits one! Konate gets good distance on it. Challenge just a bit on the firm side. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. And it's played forward. Zubimendi. Well, there's no such thing as a bad time to score, but this would sure be a good time. Spain have got it back and they'll have another go. Pedri! And he has produced there the crispest of hits.
Well, that was smashed with venom, violence even. All he had to do was hit the target. It's such a shame.
And we hit half-time. Well, it has been a half largely of could-haves and should-haves. Perhaps the more impatient amongst the supporters will feel they're overdue a goal, but it's certainly not for the want of trying, so nothing to show as yet. At the break, it's 0-0. Reflections on the first half?
Well, this has proved a very frustrating day so far, especially for the strikers. Nothing has been created for them. I think the service has been extremely poor.
Well, you'd have to say it's a game that has very much lived up to the pre-game expectations, passions. He's having a hit! And that will sail harmlessly past.
Yeah, you can't blame him for trying, but that looked a little forced.
Kubasi.
Spain clearly are trying to establish themselves as a team that likes to retain the ball, Peter.
And it's a good watch, Jim, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's always a pleasure for me to see a team move the ball in silky fashion like this. But you know what's coming next, Peter. It has to be with a mean cutting edge.
And the finish! Good try. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Yeah, it's good movement though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
And he's managed to get rid. Yamal, excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Now it's Morata. Merino. Williams. Pedri! They've done it! First blood drawn. Not a defender in sight. He had all the time in the world.
Well, he makes finishing look like a matter of fact. Why take extra touches?
Spain can now introduce the first of their substitutes.
Well, this could be a bit of a nightmare scenario for the defence, as you're going to be facing a very willing runner now, especially one that likes to make those runs beyond the defensive line.
So we have the first goal.
Look, you can't deny that it's a blow, but this game is far from unsalvageable.
Fiddles it through. Mbappe! Nice interception, well timed.
Well, this is exactly the approach they have to take now, Peter.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
And he's managed to get free.
Spain surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
France are in a tearing hurry to save themselves here.
Look, their path is set. They have to take risks in every situation now.
Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Yeah, it's safe to say that they just need to manage this to secure the win now.
And that's it. So in the end, one goal did it. An exciting encounter where both sides produced a genuine effort to go on and win it, but neither was able to add to the scoreline in the end.